does the market want? And because of this, it's one of the most misunderstood and misused of business practices. A lot of companies look at marketing as an expense rather than something that it should be, which is to bring profit and income into your company and your clients. And unfortunately, most of the advice that you find online is very terrible, and it doesn't really give you any idea. It's very generic. You don't really know what to do next. You kind of have to make sense of it. It's like looking for code and trying to find commonalities, common points to figure out what you're supposed to do next, like to gain loyal users and customers. And it leads to people making a lot of the same mistakes and focusing on the wrong things. So for me, I think it's very simple. If you want to make sense of marketing, all businesses grow from conversations. Every single business grows from a conversation, and facilitating these conversations is marketing. So it's a conversation that can take place through a Facebook ad, or a video, or a call, or a meeting. All of these things are marketing, and you want to create a conversation with the people that you want to attract, who will sponsor whatever it is you have to sell, or sponsor your business and support your business. And so this really helps to find clarity in the world of marketing. Businesses grow from conversations, and it's that simple. So it changes the way that you approach everything. And you look at it as a process of building the relationships and continuing the conversation. And like I said, it can take place through any kind of form of media. Once you understand how to create these conversations that lead to persuasion, that lead to sales, then you have the right foundation. So every marketing campaign that I've ever worked on starts with these three things, and it's called 3 M's of marketing. So 1, you have your market, who you want to attract to your business. 2, you have your message, which is like your offer, how you communicate to them, show that you, or one of them, show that you speak their language. And then you also have the media. So that's how you deliver your message to that market. And so these are the 3 things that we want to flesh out, along with as much information about our ideal prospects, like a customer avatar, their needs, their wants, their aspirations. The message, we'll talk about how to build that, how to create better offers that will actually get people to take action and to convert, as we say in marketing. So it's a very linear process, and I'm going to walk you through all of these steps. I know that it's quite hard to read, so don't worry. Now, there's a few reasons why people fail at marketing, and these are pretty consistent. So a lot of people get really caught up in the media, and that's often the new shiny object or trends such as artificial intelligence or TikTok ads or Instagram ads, SEO, so on and so on. But they ignore the basics of what makes a successful campaign in the first place. They forget that at the end of the day, it's human-to-human interaction, conversation. And we have to remember that all marketing that was created has these 3 elements to it, the 3 M's of marketing. And so we need to dial in those 3 things if we want to be successful. Number 2, that the mistake is not defining your market or your niche well enough. Every campaign has to be exact, targeted to the market, or we will fail. And so one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they do not define their market clearly enough. It's not specific enough. You want to focus first on the group of people who will be most likely to convert to your business. Anyone here running Facebook ads, for example? No, nobody's running Facebook ads. Okay. So you'll learn fast. If you target too broadly, you'll waste a lot of money. And so you want to focus first on the people that are most likely going to respond, that are going to take up your offer. Reason number 3 is that most marketing messages don't get people's attention. They're too unclear, convoluted, or the offer is far too weak for them to want to take action, provided everything else on your website works perfectly, which is usually very rare. But the offer is the most important thing when it comes to actually getting people to take action, to converting your customers. Customer testimonials are probably the second most important thing. If I'm going to a new city, or if I'm going to book a hotel or Airbnb, I'm studying those reviews, make sure there's nothing wrong with this property. There's no nightclub that's open until 4 a.m. That's going to ruin my sleep, for example. So customer testimonials are also very important. And the third most important thing are your value propositions, especially your unique propositions. And so there are 5 value propositions that you can actually use, which I will talk about in a moment. And so when it comes to the market, it's important to remember that every market is kind of like a closed community. It's like an insider community. It has its own language. So for example, golfers have their own language. Anybody play golf here? You have like hooks, you have slices, you have bogeys, you have so if you're not your birdies, so if you're not a golfer, you don't understand any of this, but you want to be able to use their language and show that you're one of them. And then there's huge communities all over the internet where you can find these communities. You can find these users and you can get them on board with your offers, with your minimal viable products, or to sign up for your newsletter, whatever your call to action happens to be. So I want to show some examples of how you might target. So these are just some very simple data scraping recipes. So you can see that here that I'm using Google to scrape life coaches, for example, and their email addresses from LinkedIn. So this is just a LinkedIn search where I'm scraping LinkedIn.com profiles, and then it will give me a list of, you can see 22,000 results. And then using a tool called Data Miner, I can easily collect all of those email addresses. In the second example, in the quotations, I searched beauty blogger, and there's about 4,000 results from Instagram, actually. So I'm scraping Instagram. And then using Data Miner, you can compile all of the results, if you have 100 results on the page, into a spreadsheet along with all of the email addresses. So that's a very easy way to find prospects for your offers. This is another example. So I work with a client that had a dance studio in Hong Kong. And we did a DM campaign to fill up these dance classes. And so I needed to find like, only females who are interested in fitness, and they have to live in Hong Kong. So if it doesn't meet those three requirements, then we're not going to get the results that we want. So what I want to show you here, though, is when you go to Instagram or any of these platforms like TikTok, YouTube, you can see this auto-suggestion feature here. So that's one way that you narrow down your targeting. So if you're looking up a hashtag, and in this example, I typed in HK Fitness, there's several different hashtags here that are suggested to me. So HK Fitness Gym, HK Fitness 24/7, HK Fitness Photography, so those are not targeted enough. But then we see this option here, HK Fitness Girl, and there's almost 18,000 posts there. So that's a perfect hashtag for us to target. And we're able to get leads coming in every single day from this campaign. Here's another example. So I type in hashtag fitness, and we can see the auto-suggestion. There's a whole bunch of different target markets here. So we see fitness motivation, fitness model, fitness mom, fitness boy. So these are all different target markets. And so narrowing that down to get the results and actually doing research to make sure that those results are correct is very, very important because, you don't want to be targeting fitness moms if you're using the hashtag fitness boy or something like that. And also, the hashtag fitness has 200 million posts, so it's way too broad. Reddit. So anyone here on Reddit? Okay. Reddit can be a great source of leads. I've gotten a lot of leads. I do like these nomad retreats, co-living retreats, and I've sold them out in like a week using Reddit, using the digital nomad Reddit, for example. But in these examples, this is when I was publishing my book, Hack Sleep. That's a guide to sleeping better. There's some subreddits out there like this one, Get Out of Bed, and it's sold like wildfire, just sharing that book on that subreddit. And so, you can find big communities for basically anything. Hi, welcome. Can you make sure to scan that to register before you sit down? The QR code. Okay. The QR code right there on the wall. Yeah, thank you. So these are great places to find big communities of users for free. And also Facebook. So I want to do some live demonstrations a little bit later, but I'll just walk you through these screenshots first. So if you go like any Facebook group, you can find validation for your ideas, for your offers, for your products, and you can easily scrape these groups if you go to the members tab, or just the group /members, and then they have other lists here that you can target. So this list here where it says members of things in common, I have 40, 60, 65, 55, 66 mutual friends with each of these people. So those are basically warm prospects if I wanted to invite digital nomads to come to this co-living retreat in Greece that I'm doing next month. So Quora is another great place to find targeted prospects. So you can scrape Quora and you can find questions on any kind of topic. So for this example, I was working with a client who had an application in London to help people find rentals. And so you can type in any kind of keyword phrase like London rentals, and then we were able to create a list of all of these questions that he can go in. He can answer these questions, put a link back to his application, and those articles are still ranking well. He's still getting traffic from a lot of those answers that I made. Partnerships. So this is just a list of instructors that I found from my website, School of Growth Hacking, from Udemy. So I basically just did the data scraping example that I showed you, growth hacking instructors using this keyword, scraping udemy.com, and then I have a list of all of these people who have courses on Udemy that I can develop partnerships with. So I want to do some live demonstrations later, because I know that I'm going kind of fast, but just bear with me for now. All right, so the second M was the message. So creating a great message is really an art form. This is the art of marketing. And our goal, obviously, is we want to get responses. We don't want to be spending a lot of money on ads and don't get any results. Now, most messages don't get responses because they're too weak. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, it starts with empathy. So you really want to make sure that you understand your prospects as well as possible. You want to welcome feedback. You want to hear what they have to say about your idea. So like I mentioned, read it to you guys before. When I had this idea for this nomad retreat in Nepal when I was there a couple months ago. I made this post and I got tons and tons and tons of feedback. And a lot of it was very, very useful. And so that feedback always helps me to create the marketing so that I can find more prospects. So it's just going to show that post here. In any case. I can't find the post at the moment, but I'll come back to this later. All right, so going back to messages. You always want to put forth a great offer in your message to get people to take action. And there's several things that a great offer does to get them to become leads and then to finally become clients. And this is really the secret to converting a lot of users and customers at scale. And so marketers like myself, we're basically testing, creating offers every single day on a regular basis. And we want to know what is working to get customers to buy. We study the data that we get. And we can do this in many ways. But one of the most powerful ways is the use of the word free. When people pay for one thing, like we might include several things in there to make our offers more valuable. So this is, in marketing, this is called a BOGO offer, where it's one of the most effective and easiest ways to increase the value and the perceived value of every offer that you create, regardless of the business. So bundling in more value for the price or for what they get for taking action. So I mentioned that there were 5 different propositions that you can use in your offer. So one is your unique sales proposition. So what makes you unique or better or special compared to your competitors? Security proposition. How do you reverse the risk to taking action? So there's no risk to taking your offer. They can feel comfortable trusting you. Third is your offer proposition. So this is how you entice them to get started and take action. There's effective ways to do this, like countdown timers, for example, if it's a time-sensitive offer. Also including bonuses, like I mentioned before. I have people take my offers just because they want the bonuses, which is, so that's how you know that you're doing it right. And then value proposition. How do you demonstrate that it's a good value? So I can give a lot of examples, but I don't want to get too sidetracked here. And then lastly is the experience proposition. So creating a great experience for your customers, such as great customer support, having testimonials on there to show what doing business with you is like. And so when you can include all 5 of these, then you know all of your bases are covered and your offer is optimized. Okay. So this is an example. I was helping my friend with his Airbnb in Athens, Greece, actually. And we just kind of did a little 10-minute brainstorming. And I said, well, all right, what's the unique sales proposition? Let's talk about the location. It's 10 minutes to all of the tourist spots. It's right next to the metro. It's in walking distance to everything. There's bars, there's restaurants, cafes around. Then the unique offer proposition, which my friend actually had a co-working space as well in Athens. So let's say that on your Airbnb, anyone that books gets to get like a free 50% off pass for your co-working space. So you get more bookings compared to other Airbnbs, for example. And then the unique experience proposition, we created a visitor guide in Google. And then we came up with some other ideas like an events calendar, providing good customer service, communication. He wanted to offer like a gift to the guests when they arrived. And then, so the unique safety and security proposition, and then let's get all of your friends to write reviews for your Airbnb, because he had no reviews basically. So that was the first thing, is to get a lot of reviews on the profile. All right, so going back to messages, we have to remember that each message has to be tailored to the media and the placement, the context, as well as the target market to be effective. And as I mentioned, most marketing messages are unclear, they're convoluted, the offer is weak. Businesses waste a lot of time trying to put their best foot forward, and they don't really know how to do that. You always want to be very precise about a lot of traffic just from this Medium post, because I said this is for digital nomads, how to earn money everywhere you travel. And it's basically an article about how to do public speaking, similar to this, but benefit-laden headline, being very specific about who you're targeting, works wonders. Anytime that your prime property on your website, for example, is here, this is called the above the fold section before you scroll down, and everything here has to be carefully thought through on every single landing page or home page. And so this is an example of my friend Amar's website, Zenmate. I think it's zenmate.com. And he's been very, very successful selling his software to maid services. And so you can see who it's for. You can see the benefit. Automate your maid service with this simple scheduling software. Here he has an offer to collect email addresses because he knows their pain point. So struggling to find new cleaning customers. These 47 keywords will bring you new business immediately. Your cleaning service must be ranking for these. So there's no reason for people to say no to that offer. And then we can see the secondary benefits here. Discover how you can clean more homes and make more money than ever before. Here's a security proposition, free 14-day trial of all features available. And then if you go down, he has more copy on there that reinforces all of those 5 different propositions that we discussed. So here's a simple exercise. Simple mental exercise on how to create a great offer. Does your offer pass what I call the 3 a.m. test? So if you woke up a person at 3 in the morning and delivered your offer to them, would they care? Or would they beg to let them back to sleep and say, I got to go to work in a few hours? If you have such a great offer, like you found a $30 flight to Bali, for example, most people would wake up for an offer like that, an airfare flight. If your offer doesn't pass this filter, then you need to think about ways that you can strengthen it. So this is the AIDA formula. Anyone familiar with that? It's an advertising formula. It means attention, interest, desire, and action. So you need to get people to stop scrolling their newsfeed and to rest their eyes on your video or your landing page, and really need to cut through the noise. We're not really competing with our competitors. We're competing for attention because we're attention starved. All of our attention is going to memes and videos on Instagram, TikTok, and so forth. And then after you get their attention, you need to hook them in and demonstrate that you have something that's important to them, something that's valuable to them, important to their survival, or helping them get more of what they want. And it can also reinforce their identity as well as who they see themselves and what they want to become. So I have a lot of examples here of just like messages. I've run a lot of different kind of campaigns. I'll just kind of quickly go through these. I just give these examples because these are examples of direct outreach through channels like LinkedIn and so forth. So it's very easy to target with LinkedIn and to get a lot of responses. So you can see these are just automated messages to LinkedIn, through Facebook as well. So from this message, this guy's an admin of a Facebook group in Hyderabad, India. I was invited to speak at this hackathon in front of about 300 students just from one Facebook message. So these are some different campaigns. So on the right, we see like an Instagram commenting campaign. Often we target people by hashtag. So for example, I work with an Airbnb podcast, and we targeted Airbnb hosts on Instagram, inviting them to take this listing check to optimize their Airbnb listing. And then you can see that here on the right-hand side. So this is an example of the message where they can take the Airbnb listing check and able to get a lot of leads that way. And then email campaign is another way. So I just like to use these literal messages as examples, like email outreach, Instagram outreach, Facebook outreach, and so forth. Now, the goal of these messages is to create conversations. We want a two-way conversation. Person that we target with our marketing at first is only a prospect. We don't know if they're interested in our offer. We just have to gently present it in front of them. And so that way to do that, we kind of engage, we build rapport, and we probe. So, we ask them questions that will get them to respond back. Like what are your goals, or how did you get started with this? What are your challenges been? What are your problems? It's basically like the Band-Aid formula. You find a need that you can solve, and you present clear value. So building relationships online, you always want to be able to contact people through multiple touch points. So imagine that your prospects are here in the center. You want them to be engaged with your business in different ways. So Keith Ferrazzi, he wrote the book Never Eat Alone, says that you want to communicate through at least 3 different forms of media so that people feel like they can know you. So it could be joining your Facebook group or following your Instagram, subscribing to your YouTube channel, your newsletter, so on and so forth. This deepens the relationship that you have with the people, with your customers. All right, so the last M that we talked about was the media. This is where a lot of the growth hacking occurs. But again, the mistake that people make is that they think marketing is only this. And this is why so much time and money is wasted, such as spending years trying to rank in Google for non-converting keywords, for example. And I think that marketing is just what you spend money on, basically. And that's why they're not getting results. So it could be ads, SEO, software, and so forth. And all 3 of those items need to be in sync or your marketing will fail. Can someone bring me a water bottle? Thank you. Every media channel has different strengths and weaknesses. So what growth hackers do is we identify the opportunity and we try to figure out how we can scale it. So scaling solves a lot of marketing problems. By scaling, I mean you don't do marketing only one time. If it works one time, you got to figure out how to do it 1,000 more times. So as an example, Airbnb became what it was by exploiting Craigslist's already huge user base. And that's an example of growth. So some more examples of these 3 things from some different campaigns that I've run over the years. Down here, we're doing a crowdfunding campaign for a hipster necktie company to raise money. And I was doing research on Instagram, and I landed on this hashtag, Dapper, on Instagram. And so I really engaged these people in the months before the campaign, followed, like, comments, sent them direct messages, and got them on board with the launch for the Kickstarter. Parenting application in the UK. So one of the things I discovered when I did this campaign was that in the UK they have this kind of slang. So they say, mum rather than mom. So using these hashtags like mom bloggers, mummy bloggers, I was able to narrow down the location targeting more, and we were able to get these influencers to contribute content to this application. So when I lived in Thailand, I worked with some of the tourism companies there, and there would be hashtags like Thailand trip, Koh Samui, Koh Tao, amazing Thailand, with a lot of travel content on Instagram. And so we were able to comment on a lot of these posts and invite them to come check out the business. So if it was a hotel, we'd invite them to come and have a free coffee, something like this. And a lot of people came that way through Instagram. And then also Facebook groups, so I'll talk more about that in a moment. So some other growth hacks, and public speaking is a great growth hack if you want to differentiate yourself depending on what your company is. It's a great way to build confidence, to get a lot of people in the room at once, get a feel for what it is you have to offer. So there's a lot of co-working spaces like this, for example, where they're always looking for speakers. So you can for one client, we wrote an ebook in like 3 days. You can do similar using ChatGPT and stuff like that and publish it to Amazon. And that opens a lot of doors. That gets you invitations to public relations, interviews, podcasts, where you can start sending traffic to your website. Force multiplier number 3, so artificial intelligence. I have a course I just published called AI Alchemy. I know you were here for the AI workshop last week, or 2 weeks ago. What was your favorite growth hack from the AI workshop? Do you remember?
Yeah, I kind of remember the in ChatGPT, I set my own personality, right? Was it AI or PM?
The new features in ChatGPT. Yeah, so we talked about AI PRM, which does a lot of cool things in ChatGPT. So if you weren't here last time, I'll just show you what that looks like. It's a free extension for Chrome, which you can add. And it adds a lot of new features to ChatGPT. If it will actually.
For the AI art, for the alchemy, is that Leonardo? Or what program are you using for the AI art?
What program am I using? Oh, that's my course, actually.
Okay.
On my site, yeah.
Okay. But the actual art of yourself.
Oh, what I use for this artwork?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did talk about that too. This is an avatar called profilepicture.ai. So you can upload photos, and it creates avatars for you. So they actually use one of my AI images for the poster for this workshop as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that I actually have a free recording of the workshop that I did. So if you have did you put your email address there?
Well, Wi-Fi, so I don't have much reception in here, so
okay.
If you want,
I can send you that. Yeah, it's free.
The Wi-Fi.
It's free, no problem. So this was AI PRM. So this is an example of how you can growth hack. It's a free extension that adds all these built-in prompts to ChatGPT, for example. So you can browse by topic. You can filter by keywords. So here we have topics. You can develop anything. You can use it for your social media marketing, for copywriting, so on and so forth. So you can even write a whole book using one of these. So you just type in the book, or it says create high-converting Facebook ad copy. Write a complete book in one click. You can use it to create a book outline or a Facebook ad or anything. That's a good one, right?
Yeah. Apology for the internet. Can you demonstrate it again for showing that menu for ChatGPT?
Sorry, what menu?
Can you demonstrate the phone menu again for ChatGPT, which you have already over there?
You want to know the extension that I mentioned?
Yeah.
Oh, it's AIPRM.
AIPRM.
Yeah. .com.
And that extension is only supported in a Chrome browser, right?
It might work with other browsers. I'm using Chrome. But if you just go to AIPRM.com, I'm sure they have info on that. Yeah, so this one is for Chrome, but there might be others for other browsers.
Okay. Does it support the Bing or Microsoft one? Because Microsoft also have their own AI.
Yeah, I don't use Bing, so it's possible, but this is just one that you can use in ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so going back, I want to talk a bit more about different tools and growth hacks and things. We'll have time to talk about that at the end. But what I want to stress here is that we have all these different toys, we have all these different shiny objects at our disposal, but at the end of the day, they need to be able to contribute to business growth somehow. And so what you want to do is you want to identify what your most important data touch points are. And for me, I break down the whole sales process into 4 different categories. These 4 main things. So we have our prospects, we have our leads, they're interested in our offer. We convert those leads into clients and customers. And then we also have our database of all our email addresses, we have all of our customers that have ever done business with us, anyone that ever did business with us, and so forth. And all 4 of these are very, very important. We want them to be as big as possible and as quality as possible. So our prospects make is that they try to sell too fast. It's called drive-by selling. They have no idea who you are. They have no relationship with you. And you still try to sell them something. and that doesn't really work very well. They say that when you're running Facebook ads, for example, they say that you need to communicate with them 7 times before they're ready to take your offer. So when people respond favorably to your courtship and the prospecting phase, then they become a lead. And so your job is to deepen that relationship, offer them a chance to take action. Some leads will convert immediately, some will take time, some will never convert at all. But basically, you're holding the door open for them with an invitation to enter, making sure that you touch them with some communication regularly. Don't neglect your leads. Call your leads, as they say in sales. So when you successfully convert your leads, then they become a client. And so, like we said, to convert your leads, make it as easy as possible for them to sign up. Think about those 5 propositions that we talked about, offering them something like a 90-day money-back guarantee, 2-week free trial, offering special bonuses, bundling, and creating a price or value proposition that your competitors can't beat. And once you have your clients, make sure that you over-communicate with them, make sure that they feel valued, appreciated, and make sure that you're communicating with them regularly, ideally once a week. So it's always a huge mistake that a lot of companies make, that they don't communicate again with their customers who may have discontinued their service or they bought from you once, and they just go off somewhere and they never get communicated with again. So I think that all your previous customers, users, clients that you experienced your product or worked with in the past, they should be considered leads, and actually they're probably your best leads. And if you can reactivate them, you can profit substantially from that. So keep a list of your old inactive customers and find ways to reach out to them. Maybe once per quarter or at least once a year. You notify them of new features, new products, new services that you're offering. Those are some of your best leads. But a lot of companies don't have those databases. They don't have all the emails of their customers that purchased from them before. I just had this issue with a client last week, actually. So how can you just start marketing on any given day? I mean, there's a lot that you can do here, obviously. There's a lot of options. And like I said, we got to test a lot of stuff. We need to get our offers in front of the market fast. We need to confirm our ideas and make sure that they're working. And I talked to a lot of different business people and entrepreneurs, and they're basically, a lot of people are doing the bare minimum when it comes to marketing, and then they're complaining that they aren't getting sales. So always think that scaling things can always make every marketing problem better, provided that your offer's converting. And then think about how you can try at least 5 things on Monday. And then on Tuesday, what are 5 things that you can do, 5 different marketing process that you can set up. So this is a better way to get traction fast. So first I would ask myself, how can I reach 5 people? Can I contact 5 people, email them? Can I call them on the phone? And then I just keep multiplying with 5. And then I write the answer. How do I reach 25 people? How do I reach 125, 625, 3,000 plus people? All right, so going back to the beginning when we talked about growth hacking and what it is, I would say that growth hacks are usually a distinct competitive advantage that marketers discover through experimentation, through a lot of practice and testing, or from case studies and personal relationships with others who have discovered them. And they're often quite difficult to discover if you won't get them from a college course or a university degree, I'll tell you that. And they tend to be very profitable. They might not last forever, but when we discover them, then we want to continue to tweak and see how we can really exploit them. So if we're running Facebook ads, for example, I'm doing a bunch of Facebook ads at the moment for my courses. I'm getting leads for half a cent per click from certain countries, for example. So if I target the US or the UK, I'm spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. But if I go for these other smaller markets like India, Philippines, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, Nigeria is another one, I'm getting much lower cost leads from my Facebook ads. So I know that I'm onto a growth hack, and I'm just trying to discover the best ways to convert those users. And so it really comes down to taking a lot of action and testing, implementing things to discover these. And of course, we have artificial intelligence here to help us. We have software, we have tools that make everything much, much easier. That's the good news. And reaching the market quickly with our messages is critical in our offers. So this is one that I use almost every day, and it's called Mass Planner. It's not available to the public. You can actually find susocial.com. And this automates a lot of the social media grunt work. So I gave a demonstration of that last time, right, Peter? Mass Planner. Like I gave like a brief demonstration at the end of the presentation. Or maybe you weren't there for that. So it can connect to a lot of the social media accounts that you own and perform a lot of the things that you might do manually, like sending messages or following people. And it connects to different platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and so forth. So with LinkedIn, it can send connection requests or it can send messages to your contacts. If I go like to Facebook, for example, you can see a lot of different features here. So the Finder can find Facebook groups that I can join, and then it can find all those. It can join them all here. It can send birthday messages to your contacts. It can invite people to your pages or groups. You can send direct messages through this tool. So if you go to the contact tool, I talked about the Facebook groups, for example. So here's a list of users from a Facebook group. You just have to input the URL into here, and then you can scrape users from Facebook and send them messages. So in this list, we can see the group name here. So these are all members of this group, Digital Nomads, Co-Livings, and Retreats around the globe. And down here we can see a message that I prepared to send to these people, where basically I'm trying to get people interested in this co-living retreat that I'm doing in Nepal in the spring. So here's the message on here. And the way you set it up is you use these things called stint syntaxes, where each message is a little bit different. So you'll see like these little brackets here. So it might say, hey, hello, hi there, and so forth. And each message that it sends will be a little bit different. So you tell it how often you want it to send. So up to 20 messages per day or 30 messages per day every hour or so. And it'll send messages for you. And you can do this for as many accounts as you'd like, as many different social media channels as you like. So here's the messages here that are pending. There's 470 messages. And then here's the results. So this is a way to get more leads for this co-living retreat that I'm trying to set up here. And then if I go to my Facebook, you can see those messages going out. So here's one of the messages that was sent. So to one of the members of those groups. And so you can easily find members like this. If I go to one of these groups like Co-Living Around the World, it's very easy to find these people. So this is one example, a way to get leads. Doesn't really take much effort. You just go and find one of these lists like this one here where it says members with things in common, and then you can scrape all of those users from Facebook and send them friend requests or send them messages. And it works for advertisements too, so you can go to any post, like I made a post in this one, 50 leads from this, so let me find the post that I made. And you can scrape users from any post as well. So this was the post here, and this one had about 53 comments there. So what I can do is I can find that URL, and you can find users from your post and scrape them just by taking that URL. So it can be a post that you made. It could also be an advertisement that someone else made. So if you wanted to steal some of your competitors, the people interacting with your competitors' ads, you can do that as well. And so there's all different kinds of social media platforms that you can connect to the software. So if you're using it with Instagram, I had an Instagram agency where we had like 40 Instagram accounts running on the software. We were following users, commenting on it first, sending them messages, and the software just set it up once and it does all these things for you. So it has a lot of other features that I probably don't have time to talk about all of them today. I have a course on this still on the website. But for example, it can also make posts in groups for you. It can make posts to your pages. So this is an example of a campaign that's publishing to 120 groups. It's published to 46 so far, and automatically does all that. You just set it up once. And it works for a lot of different channels. Don't have time to cover all of them today. AI, of course, is another big one. So we can talk about that at the end as well. Some other tools that are popular I don't actually use these two, but I know that a lot of people are using this one. It's called TextOwl, and it can automate a lot of these marketing processes for you on social media. I think if you go to appsumo.com, you can get a lifetime deal for that. Data miner, so I've talked about this quite a bit actually. Let me give a few examples. You're working in the Bitcoin, no, blockchain sector, right? So who would be a good person for you to connect with here in Dubai? Huh?
Any guy from banking sector.
Okay, from the banking sector. So if I wanted to look up users from LinkedIn, for example, I would type in this search string. That's finance or specific position in the banking industry?
Supply chain or
supply chain logistics. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of results here. 62 million. We obviously need to narrow that down a little bit. Let's go and make it UAE only. We'll add the AE. So now we have 380,000 results. Probably need to narrow that down more, but let's see what we got here. So, vice president, founder, and CEO. Okay, so are these closer to what you want to connect with? Perfect. So, Google doesn't actually have pages anymore. If you want to get more results, you have to continue scrolling down. They don't have a first page, second page, and so forth. But let's just go and we'll use Data Miner to collect all these results. So right here, we'll use this extension. It's a free Chrome extension. And you can search that, just Data Miner. And it saves everything on the page. So if I go here where it says Google X-Ray LinkedIn, I'll just go ahead and scrape. And then it'll take all those results and put them into a spreadsheet for me. So we have first name, last name. If we wanted to find emails, we could also find emails. And then we also have a LinkedIn profile. So let's go ahead and scrape. And then if I go here download, I can download that as a CSV or copy it to a clipboard. And then you can start connecting with those people and start building relationships. Quite easy, right? Do you want me to send you this again? So here we can see all of the LinkedIn profiles. So let's just say I'll just copy this to a spreadsheet. But you can just see how easy this is and how quick it can be. I can copy those results here. Now we have all these supply chain people in UAE. Here's like the profile and the summary. So I can save all these URLs to their profile, and then I can import them into a tool like Mass Planner or Sue Social to connect with them all. So let me open up LinkedIn here. And just like that, we can save like 200 profiles to connect with them. So right here where it says connector, I can just paste all those URLs that I just scraped. So here it says add people from the list. And just like that, you can send connection requests all of them. So obviously 200 connection requests is too much. We might do like maybe 10 to 20 per day. But you let that run for a couple of weeks, and then you can build a lot of relationships in LinkedIn that way. Put LinkedIn to use for once, you know. Everybody has a profile, but nobody seems to use it much. So yeah, Data Miner is a great one. I have a lot of lists that I've scraped a lot of data just from Google for free using Data Miner. So you can see I have tons and tons of lists here. Every kind of niche you can imagine. Tech and PR journalists, startup podcasts, tons and tons of lists, and Data Miner is great for finding a lot of those people. And that's a free extension, by the way. All right, so this is another cool one. This is called Debbie. And what Debbie does is it transforms your Facebook newsfeed. For some reason, it takes a moment. And I think it's DDEBI, I want to say. And it monitors Facebook groups for specific keywords. So it connects to all of the Facebook groups that you're in, and it looks for specific conversations. So you can find the conversations that are taking place, and you can find your leads on those posts. And it gives you like a curated dashboard where you can go and comment on the posts, you can follow up with those leads, and monitor all the conversations around your service or your product. So, all right, this presentation is a little bit outdated. I used to use a tool called PepperType, which was an AI content writer, but now we all have ChatGPT, so you probably don't even need this. But AI can help you to accomplish a lot. There's a whole bunch of other tools out there I have the free AI webinar if you want to learn more about AI. Browser-based tools. So there's a whole bunch of tools out there, like AI tools, like I mentioned. This is another one. I think it's been discontinued, but it was great when it lasted. It basically sends direct messages to Reddit, which was, although very, very powerful, it was problematic. I think they got shut down. It was called Howitzer. Micro workers is another one that I've been using over the years. You can hire people to do tasks for like 5 cents each or something. So like, watch a YouTube video and like the video or share the video to try to get it boosted up through the algorithm, like on YouTube, for example, or whatever it happens to be, any kind of platform. Where to find more? So a great website is appsumo.com, as well as Product Hunt. You can see new tools that people are building, especially in the realm of AI. I also have a spreadsheet of like close to 500 AI tools that I've collected that I can send you guys after this. Anyone here heard of AppSumo before?
No.
Okay. Probably from the last presentation I did, right? Yeah, so you can buy a lot of lifetime deals on tools and software here for like $29, $30. So use AI to generate and schedule posts, monitor performance, all your social media accounts, and that's just $30. So when people create new tools, they'll offer them at a big discount. You get lifetime access, and they get access by category to save me a lot of time, and it's called Glass. So it's glass.co. And it's very useful because I can learn things quickly from YouTube using this application. So if I go to YouTube and I'm running Facebook ads and I see like, all right, I had 3,000 clicks, nobody bought anything. Like, what the hell's going on? You need to figure this out fast. So I can type in how to run Facebook ads for courses, and this is what I was doing with this presentation. And using Glass, it takes the whole transcript of the video, it summarizes it in ChatGPT for you. So you can save so much time trying to make sense of everything. So for example, like there were some for courses or how to sell courses, the Facebook ads. So basically, you can go to any topic, you can go in a YouTube video, and all right, so he's got 2 Facebook ads that are maybe 100K. I want to know what those are. I don't want to spend 11 minutes watching this video though, so I can use Glass to send it to ChatGPT. And you can do this for anything, like whatever kind of campaign you want to run or anything you want to learn. Just go down here where it says View AI Summary, and it sends the whole transcript to ChatGPT to summarize. And then you can get the main takeaways in like 20 seconds. So that's one I've been using a lot recently to discover new marketing hacks, new growth hacks, and ChatGPT will tell me exactly what the video is about, so I don't have to waste some time. The speaker's been using paid ads. The first type of ad is a lead magnet ad. The second type is retargeting ad. Okay, so there, I saved 10 minutes and 30 seconds from ChatGPT, and it can also help me to build a process. Can you help me build a step-by-step process that I can follow from this transcript? And there you go. So there you have a standard operating procedure. It'll give you the exact steps to replicate that success. Saves a lot of time. And then there's also communities. So I've been subscribed to this community, Black Hat World, for many years. They have a newsletter. And you'll often see like case studies of new things people are doing, like how they're making 6 figures using AI-generated artwork. And then if you see something interesting, you'll get the email notification. You can see different kind of case studies and growth hacks people are doing. There's also a lot of growth hacking groups on Facebook, like this one here. And again, I think that marketing success and growth hacking is a process that comes down to testing stuff, having skin in the game, testing different offers, doing it day in, day out, showing up, putting in the efforts, putting in the work. You really can't be shy when it comes to marketing. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. You have to be comfortable putting it out in front of people. And so I call this the Fast 5 framework, where you just ask yourself, all right, how do I do these 5 things? How do I reach these 5 people with this offer, with this message? And this helps you touch all the bases and get your offers and your messages out every day. Be willing to fail 200 times a day, and don't even think twice about it. If you follow this rule, you always have prospects, leads, customers coming in. You'll never be down and out for long. Marketing is not a game of perfection. It's about constant refinement, constant testing, constant tweaking, and the best marketers make the most attempts. If you double your rate of failure, you got to look at success as learning. Right? You do your best and you learn something every time. It's impossible to truly fail. All right, so that's about it for this presentation. We'll open it up to discussion in a moment if you guys want to see any more examples. Did you guys all have a chance to put your email address on the QR code, or you were having some trouble there, right? Did you get it sorted out?
Me?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Is that who will get the slides, or what?
Yeah. So this is also my email address. I can I'll send the slides to everyone, and I also have an AI presentation. I have an online version of it if you want to watch that. It's a screen recording presentation. So you can learn all the AI growth hacks that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and we also have a growth hacking community on Facebook. So I'll send a link to that as well if you put your email address. Yeah, so this is also the course. So this was the AI Alchemy course that you asked about. There's like more than 40 lessons on all of the AI growth hacks that you can use right now to scale your business and to make more money. And we have a special discount code for that if you want to sign up. I'll send that later. And yeah, hey, what do you think so far?
Great.
Anything else?
Well, actually, I was pretty impressed with the kind of LinkedIn profile you
Oh, the automation. Yeah, so before AI came along this year, I was doing automation for like 10 years. And yeah, LinkedIn automation is one of them. I mean, there's a lot of people that are spamming LinkedIn. Obviously, you've probably seen it, right? But if you're doing any kind of automation, you've got to make sure you're doing it in a smart way, because these platforms are always trying to shut it down. So a lot of the
How effective has it been for you? The LinkedIn automation.
how effective?
Yeah, in terms of maybe generating sales.
See, there you're making the first mistake that I talked about in the presentation, because you're asking me just about the media. So the LinkedIn automation can work if you're targeting the right people and you have a good message. So, for example, I connect with a lot of podcasters, for example, just to do interviews. And that's been working very well, actually. So my objective there is to get more links to my website, get more organic traffic, and get my offers out to the listeners as well. So it's good for developing partnerships. I wouldn't say that it's a good platform for doing like a hard selling. It's very annoying when people want to get on a call with you and you're like, about what? You don't even know the first thing about what they want to talk about. So a lot of people try to do that. That's like the drive-by selling that you see a lot, especially on LinkedIn.
How specific are you generally with your message?
How specific am I?
Yeah.
What do you mean specific? Like
in terms of the transaction?
Sometimes if you're too specific, that can be you're telling them too much. It's like a poker player. You can got your hand here. You can't get. Yeah.
While we're on the subject of being too specific, our services while you're in the process of targeting your that target demographic. Like when it comes to keywords and so forth, when you're executing this campaign, how do you make it feel inclusive and not exclusive when you're targeting your market?
When you say alienating, what can you be more specific about that?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of examples, but if you're targeting, if you have a target demographic and you're targeting people from, let's say, 18 to 35, how do you also make the people who are outside of that threshold feel as though they are welcome to subscribe to your service or product?
Okay, that's a good question. Mostly I try to target by psychographics rather than demographics. So they don't necessarily have to be a specific age or gender or live in a specific place. They can be anywhere, but they're interested in something specific. They're interested in what I have to offer. So that might seem like a little bit more confusing because if you're doing Facebook ads, right, you want to you target those physical things, right? Like age, location, gender. But then you also have like interests. You have people that divide into communities, into groups. So that's like more like focusing on psychographics and what those people actually want. Sometimes you might be surprised that it could be like a 65-year-old woman in Nepal who signs up for your offer. You know, it's not exactly what you expected. As long as she wants something like to set up an online business or something, that's what you help her with. As far as the part about alienating, I mean, can you so you mean like you're being specific about the targeting, right? And you don't want to like not turn away other people? Is that what you mean?
Sure, I just mean that your messaging that you're targeting. You've answered my question, but I just mean your messaging whenever kind of the language and the verbiage that you use, how do you target your demographic while also kind of, making sure that that it doesn't seem exclusive to your demographic. But you've answered that. Are you get what I'm asking now?
Yeah. Well, for example, if I'm doing my Facebook ads, for example, I might be targeting 5 different groups. So we have like everyone who likes my page and their friends. We have a list of all of our customers and their email addresses. Then we have a list of everybody that's like interested in AI, entrepreneurship, startups. And then we have a list of all these like cheap countries, that I mentioned where we get cheap clicks. So that's like 4 different groups, and we're targeting the same ad to all of them. You know what I mean? And what we're doing is we're saying like, okay, this group got 0 clicks. This group got 0 clicks. Right? These 2 are interested in looking at. So just from running like $20 of Facebook ads, we can get a lot of data just from choosing 4 different groups. All right, we narrow it down to this one. We know that they're interested because we're getting a lot better return on those ads. So how can we start targeting more of these people, scale it up more, and improve our conversion? So I started running these ads these ads to my course on Facebook, and I'm getting 0.5% a click targeting these cheap countries where the clicks are cheap, but they're not buying anything. So I'm like, all right, I got the first part down. I got 3,000 people to click in one day. Now I need to figure out how to get them to convert. So clearly, like offering them discount codes is not enough. I thought that it would be enough because usually it is. So now we got to get them into the funnel, follow up with them, build that relationship with them. But I figured out the first part. I figured out who's the best person to target by targeting ads of like 5 different demographics. If that makes sense. But the ad is exactly the same though. The ad's the same.
When you talk about unique value prop, unique experience prop, and safety and security, kind of the 5 there that you implement, is there kind of a formula to how many you will implement? And if the more you implement, does that increase the probability of conversion, or do you is there kind of a formula like, okay, I'll use this one and then this one, but if I use this one, then that may cancel out the other?
Well, it would never cancel out. But I mean, I'll give you another example. I talked about this in the AI workshop a couple of weeks ago, and I was giving the example of this yoga retreat in Nepal, where I want to host this co-living retreat in spring. And basically, I basically put all the information about the company into ChatGPT. So I copied the whole website, this Pokhara Yoga School. So here's all the information I copied and put into ChatGPT website. And the reason I did this is because this guy's doing marketing, but it's like very traditional marketing. It's like Facebook ads, SEO, so forth. He doesn't know what else to do. And the thing is, like I told him, like, look, you need to improve your offer. You need to make it more valuable. So this is where we get down to the unique value proposition. And so I asked ChatGPT, I said, what are some ideas we can offer to make the teacher training more valuable to potential teachers? And the reason I did this is because there's all these different yoga centers at this place in Nepal. They all offer the same thing. It's the same price, 200 hours teacher training, 300 hours teacher training. So how do we make this particular center better than the others, better than the competitors? This is where we get into the propositions. So I asked ChatGPT, what are some different ideas we can offer? And then it came up with ideas to make the training more valuable. Other activities and things that we can include And he can even make more money by charging for some of these things. So specialized workshops, business and marketing training, advanced teacher training, language courses, cultural immersion. So these are all things that they can put into their offer to make it better. ChatGPT can give you these ideas, and we even came up with an idea for a new program that we can offer to 350 plus teachers that already came, bring them back to Nepal and give them business and marketing training, from yours truly. So we came up with an idea to make more money just from ChatGPT by asking all right, here's all the information from this business. So if you go and I'll talk more about AI here because it's an interesting topic. So if you're using an extension like AI PRM, there's this option here to save a profile. And the profile is all the information that you input. So I could create a profile for this yoga center, for example. Or I can make a profile based on my customer avatar for my website. So if I go down and let me find that conversation here. Here it is, okay, copywriting help. So the first thing I did when I was creating my marketing strategy and building it out from scratch for my website was I inputted my customer avatar. So I input it into ChatGPT. Said, hello, I need some help with copywriting. I've created a customer avatar along with their needs at once, and I need to create marketing copy for my website. So here's what I describe. I'll just make it a little bigger. Someone who's freelancer, consultant, solopreneur, entrepreneur curious. They kind of have a side hustle. Maybe they haven't made much money with it, and they want to take it to the next level. So here's all their fears and frustrations that they have right now. Here's all their wants and their aspirations. Their frustration might be shiny object syndrome or lack of results, or they're jaded because people make too many promises to them but didn't deliver. They don't have enough time. They don't know where to begin. They don't know who to trust. These are all the frustrations, the wants, and aspirations. So you can input all of this into ChatGPT, and then it can help you come up with those propositions, for example. So, what's a safety proposition we can offer? Let's properly make our offer more valuable. So you get the idea, right? Here, how easy this can be. ChatGPT can help you do a lot of the brainstorming here.
Do you have? And the old day, I went there like you're doing the presentation on the spot, but now we do a combination of online team training and on the spot. Do you have any good recommendation this week? Training, presentation?
To create the training or to offer?
Yeah, with all the nice modern new tools. YouTube presentation right now, but do you do it online as well?
Yeah, I have webinars. We do a lot of social media content as well. Do you have a social media presence? Like your business is training, right?
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So short form content is very big right now. YouTube Shorts, Reels. So if you have do you have a YouTube channel?
I'm working for a very big company right now, but I had my own training business in the past.
You have your own video content still around, right? Somewhere on a hard drive somewhere?
Well, we have people, this is a very big company, one of the biggest in the world. Right? We have people putting all the video and all this stuff, but we are trying to make new ideas to make it more interesting for people, as I said, in 14 countries. Right?
Do you know Video AI?
No.
Well, it's an AI
baby
tool.
in this field, but I know my stuff as a captain. I'm trying to train, you know what I mean, in all these 14 countries. But
oh, I see.
I'm interested in new ideas because many of them are young people and they have another way of working, learning.
Well, this is a great way to generate leads from other channels like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Sure. It can take a lot of the video content that you have, like this recorded video from this presentation, for example, and then turn them into like short form reels and shorts, so that you can use that to publish on social media channels. But I assume that you're offering training to people within the organization, is that right?
Yeah, right now, but I might go back and do my own stuff. It's quite good.
Okay.
It's a niche market where there are not many people.
I think it would be important to have different forms of training. So some people learn best from video. Some people might want to have reading materials or like outlines, things like this. So you can probably transcribe a lot of, if you have videos, for example, you can transcribe that using ChatGPT, for example, and then build like more study materials for like internal organization. What other suggestions might you be looking for?
I got a suggestion already.
Yeah, so this is more for like social media content. A lot of it's kind of like a growth hack. If you want to go viral, you can get a lot of views just from 30-second Instagram reel. You know, like some of them get like 5 million views or Facebook reel, and it could be just a guy walking through the airport. It can be like ridiculous, but they're getting a lot of views right now. So this is this one. So video, what it does, it helps you take a lot of the long form videos that you have. You have videos that are like 30 minutes. You know, like interview or a course, you can turn it into short form content. What else?
I do have some questions for you.
Sure.
You're using it one tool for linking a connection. What was the tool name? Is it paid or free tool?
The one that I gave an example of, it's a paid tool.
It's a paid.
You can sign up at susocial.com.
Susocial.com. And for the LinkedIn request, I remember it now. If you send a request to multiple people in a single click, maybe your account will get blocked for at least for 24 or 72 hours.
Yeah,
so
that's why I don't use free tools.
So how that tool will help you to send a request in a single click to more than 20 or 30 connections?
Well, this first of all, this is a paid tool, so it runs on a virtual server. This is a virtual computer, so this is not my laptop that you're seeing here. This is
because you were using that in Microsoft desktop.
Yeah, so here we can see the connector tool. We can see how often it sends a connection request. It says every 5,400 seconds, and maximum 10
so
to
you can
20
manage
per
the
day.
time as well.
Yeah, so you can set it to go out every hour, every 2 hours. It's really up to you. It's not sending 20 connection requests in 2 minutes, basically.
And what if you're after making the request from that tool, and if you sign off from that app from your computer, or if your computer is down, like turn it off, is it sending that over virtual machine or not?
Yeah, it sends it all through this VPS here that you see. So I don't have to do anything. I just set it up once. I don't touch it again. And yeah, I mean, I had a great business that I set up using this software just with Instagram. Not even using all these other platforms, because it used to be like 2016, 2017. You can connect. So you see all of these are red, like a security check from Instagram, because they made it a lot harder to automate Instagram. But it used to be very, very easy. Like I could follow 1,000 accounts every day. I can unfollow 1,000 accounts. All here through these different tools that you see here. Follow, follow back, unfollow. And we could grow like 400, 500 followers every single day. So I had like 40 clients running on software.
But if you wanted to choose a specific targeted area for sending requests for followers, like to just bring more followers to your page, so after that, how that tool will help you?
How does the tool help you? How?
To target a specific audience in a reel. Like if I wanted to set a reel for like
here where it says follow sources down here, you can target whoever you want. So you can follow by hashtag search. You can follow followers of another account. Here you can follow your own followers. You can follow people that interacted with another account. So you have all the different targeting options here. Basically, it will come down to keyword or a group or another account, something like this. And it's a little bit different with each platform, obviously. But you can see, like this account, this is my account, it's got 45,000 followers, and I started not even knowing how to make a post on Instagram when I started maybe like 2014 or something. And I was able to grow millions of followers just automating the whole process. You can also comment on posts via hashtag. You can also repost posts. You can send direct messages here with the contract tool, for example. So yeah, it's really powerful. I mean, you can set stuff up once, and then you just have it run every single day. I had a great business back in those days, working 1 hour a day and had like 40 clients traveling the world, but then Instagram one day decided to make life hard that way, so I had to start over again. And it was good while it lasted.
Just a small advice, because one thing is to reach the clients. I did 5 years in Singapore here, and we have every almost every people are calling us with trying to sell something, right? And from banks, from everywhere. And if you ask them a few questions back, oh, sorry, sir, and stuff like this. I mean, you really need to be prepared when you finally get through to your clients. I know they find us on our website and stuff like this, and sometimes we are laughing at what the guys say. And what I'm trying to say, they need to be prepared when you finally get your clients.
You gotta know how to follow up with them, right?
Sorry?
You need to know how to follow up with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not be shy when they pick up the phone and somebody there. And
that's why don't be shy.
No, that's a problem in Asia and some other. So what I'm trying to say, prepare the next step, right?
Phone sales is hard. I don't have the temperament for it. If they start shouting at me on the phone, I'll start shouting back at them. So I don't think I can do phone sales.
You're from UK. I mean, this is cross culture also. So what I'm trying to say, prepare some steps so you get it right.
Yeah, but then you don't. There's no college course that can prepare you for all of this stuff. I mean, you got to kind of figure out on the job. Like with this nomad house thing that I'm doing in Nepal, I was able to get a lot of leads. Now I need to figure out how to get the deposit from them. So this is the post that I made, and ChatGPT basically wrote this post. I posted a lot of the pictures. I got a lot of comments on Reddit. I got a lot of people filling out the form. I was like, all right, I'll collect the email addresses on the form. Now I got to figure out, okay, I need to follow up with them and get them to make a deposit. So how am I going to get them to send, $300 to a person that they've never met before? So what I'm trying to say is that, it's test. You got to test this stuff out. There's no guidebook, or there's no coach that I can call and say this is what you should do, because it's something new. You're testing a new idea. You're testing a new campaign. This is the post that I made on Reddit. So this Reddit digital nomad, it's got 2.1 million subscribers. And there were a lot of comments, probably like 100 and something. I feel these pictures. So 152 comments on this post. So a lot of people interested, a lot of questions. But now I got to figure out, what's the next step? I have 50 people that filled out my form. How do I get them to make a deposit to reserve the spot? So it's like testing a lot of stuff. There is no right answer. I thought, well, okay, I'll get them all to join a Google Meet. And basically nobody showed up for the Google Meet. So I have to kind of expect failure is where different things to get to the next point. So that's how follow-up works, and basically how constructing these campaigns from scratch works. So this is just the first step where I make a post and I say, is anybody interested in joining? I have nothing to sell at this point. I'm just putting out my idea and just saying this is what I want to do. Bring these nomads to Nepal. It will be $9.99 per person. That's inclusive of all the activities and stuff. Now I got to figure out how to get them to make a deposit. So even though I do these co-living retreats in Greece already, there's 10 people that come to those. Now I got to get 40 people to come. So I need to figure out how to scale this and to make my time more efficient and still build a relationship with each of these people. So what I'm saying is that there's not really any plan that's going to work. You can't. That's the price we pay to run the show. Any other questions then? Yeah.
Are we going to have another session from you for AI?
Another AI session?
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 more weeks in the UAE, so let's set something up, yeah? All right, the next one will be how to set up a side hustle using AI. How about that? So all the steps, I'll teach you how to make your first $500 using AI in 2 weeks. How's that sound?
Nice.
All right. Okay.
$500 for dirhams.
Oh yeah, we'll convert it to dirhams.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Nice to meet you all.
Go ahead.
Thanks for sticking through.